Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument is in the AJO Mountains and comprises of 516 square miles or 330,000 acres in southern Arizona. Now, this is roughly the size of Hong Kong, according to research. So I don't know. Was there not there's not like a city in the United States that's relative to? It's just Hong Kong.
Yeah, no, I mean Hong Kong comes in at about 424 square miles. I always like to put a comparison.
Oh, so it's larger.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it is larger, but that was kind of the closest comparison I could find.
I know
people
there's
would know.
No cities in the U.S. that
I mean, it would be
that would be that big.
Big city, yeah. So it's just kind of give people a sense of what we're working with.
Sure. And it does share a border with the Mexican state of Sonora. So that could be something that we want to think about later in the episode, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
It was established on April 13th in 1937, and it sees roughly 260,000 visitors per year in non-COVID years. So that last number was in 2018. Mm-hmm. So just a couple historical facts about the area. In 1846, the Mexican-American War ended with Mexico ceding Upper California to the U.S. Organ Pipe was still a part of Mexico at that point. In 1853, land south of the Gaia River was purchased from Mexico for $10 million. The land was purchased to build a Southern Pacific Railroad route to California. This land would later become part of the Arizona and New Mexico border. On August 9th, 2002, while pursuing members of a drug cartel who fled into the United States after a string of murders in Mexico, shot and killed 28-year-old law enforcement officer Chris Eggle. I actually remember this in the monument.
I do too.
That was I was in high school.
Yeah.
This was like junior year of high school. On July 29th, 2003, so the next year, the U.S. Congress passed a law designating Organ Pipe National Monument Visitor Center as Chris Eggle Visitor Center. Cutting down an endangered cactus like the saguaro could land you in prison for up to a year. So don't go to the National Monument and cut down cacti. Is it cacti or cactuses?
I think it's cacti, but we'll be told
There's
if we're wrong.
one cactus, 5 cacti.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will be very upset by what I just said. The legendary 1881 gunfight at the OK Corral in the Arizona Territory town of Tombstone is considered the most famous shootout in American Old West and lasted for only 30 seconds. So that was nearby.
And
go ahead.
Just a side note, Tombstone's one of my favorite movies.
I don't think I've seen that.
With Val Kilmer and
I don't think I've seen
the guy who played the president in Independence Day. I can't remember his name.
That's my favorite president, President Whitmer.
Yeah. Great movie. It's an older one. It's from the early 90s, so.
But. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I feel like you right now because you seem to not know any of the movies I talk about.
No, but yeah, so next time you got like 3 hours on your hand, watch Tombstone.
It's a long movie?
It's a long one.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Women in Arizona were granted the right to vote 8 years before the national suffrage, so Arizona was very progressive at that point in time. There aren't any dinosaur fossils at the Grand Canyon because the rocks are much older than dinosaurs. The only fossils you'll find are things like corals, sponges, and trilobites. The best preserved meteor crater in the world is located in Winslow, Arizona. And while Arizona is the 6th largest state in the U.S., only 17% of land is privately owned. So I'm guessing a lot of it's like BLM land. Is that true, Mike?
Yeah, the vast majority of land you'll find in some of these western states is, Bureau of Land Management land. So,
yeah, like it's funny because it's basically unmanaged.
It's unmanaged, and it is routinely, they do auction off chunks of it every once in a while. So to private, seller or buyers. So,
yeah, out there it's like a lot of cattle owners, and they let their cattle roam around in there. And
yeah, a lot of private people have leases with the federal government to let animals graze on property like that. So probably not so much in Arizona, but in some of the other western states.
Yeah. Otherwise they'll eat that cactus, and we'll have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Morton Salt, I'm sure everybody has Morton Salt in their house, has been mining a salt deposit in the unincorporated town of Glendale since the mid-1980s. The salt deposit is about 40 square miles wide and more than half a mile thick. That's crazy.
A lot of salt.
That's a lot of salt.
Yeah.
I just had a little fun side note that I just completely lost while I was talking about that. Dang it. Oh, that's what it is. Mike, do you know what makes a town unincorporated?
I don't.
It doesn't have a mail office.
Oh, no post office.
Post office.
Okay.
Yep.
I think you've
Only incorporated towns have post offices.
I think you've mentioned that little fact before, and I always forget.
I probably have. It's
Yeah.
like one of the few facts that I can rattle off that a lot of people don't know, so I use it to impress people at parties. And that's why I don't have a lot of friends.
Or go to a lot of parties.
Exactly. So just a more in-depth description of the features. So the climate, the southern months are obviously very hot with temperatures exceeding 100 degrees. Winter months are mild. You get 70s, and in the desert areas, you still get pretty cold at night. So you'll get lows in the 40s, even though it's a warmer climate. The monument preserves parts of the rugged Sonoran Desert, so it is a lot of desert area. Again, if you said old westerns are based in that area, you can get an idea of what the climate looks like, feels like. Cacti grow there.
Yeah.
Many cacti grow there. The tallest point in the monument is Mount Aho at 4,808 feet. It's very dry, rocky desert. Plant growth in water are very sparse. So types of dangers, not much of like the big animals that'll get you. There's bats, mountain lions, bighorn, Sonoran pronghorn, kangaroo rats, kangaroo and desert mice, mule deer, white-tailed deer, coyote, jackrabbit. There are rattlesnakes. There are 4 different species of lizard. There's 5 species of rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And 270 species of birds. So desert, rocky, rugged, some poisonous animals.
Probably rattlesnakes are going to be your biggest concern hiking.
Yes.
I've been on hikes where we've almost stepped on rattlesnakes. Just you don't see them until you're literally on top of them. And if you get bit by one out in the middle of nowhere and can't get to someone with antivenom, you're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Especially if you're alone.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get it all cut off and stuff like that. Like put the tourniquet on. I've never seen Ben jump so high from when we were in Zion, and one was right in the path.
That was amazing. Yeah, he had superhuman strength for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was. He had a vertical that I think would have beat a couple of NBA players. Just off of pure reactions. It was pretty incredible. So the biggest risk outside of the rattlesnakes: extreme heat, sun exposure, dehydration. Potential hypothermia at night in the winter months. And then if you don't have a shelter, obviously those things the exposure is just amplified.
Yep.
So just in general, due to the rugged and remote nature of the monument, it's a more difficult place to hike. You know, it's like any desert hike. If you're not adequate at it, if you're a first timer, odds are you're not wearing the right clothes. But if you're out there, it's got to be like pants, long sleeve shirts, things that can wick. To protect your skin from the sun. No sandals.
Yep.
You know, potentially gaiters around the ankles attached to your boots to protect from rocks and potential snakes if you have special rated gaiters for snake bites. Outside of that, you know, we've done a lot of desert related areas on this show, so I think people probably have a general idea of what the dangers are there. So I'll